advance, one thing that always helps me in my classroom, and a part of the reason that I was able to increase my CBA scores about roughly 20% up, is because I had to starting with the end in mind, as in I had to just go ahead and start with the unit test, and I always test my kids with the unit test to pre-evaluate them. But on a specific lesson that I was asked about on this past Thursday at our faculty meeting was about area, and how could I take something basic like area and begin to matriculate to a higher level. So our basic knowledge, our basic facts about area is the formula, which is when times width. And so from that basic knowledge, then we would have to go ahead and learn how to comprehend. And so looking at a specific, for example, this was a question I posed to my kids. Something that we did after we found the area, once we started understanding the concepts, was to plot 4 points in the first quadrant and then find the area of that. So that was pretty much the application of the process. When I was a kid, and a lot of my kids, we always ask, well, why do you even need this? Why do we want to learn this? So I learned to take advantage of those situations, and I try to connect, and which my PowerPoint was about. It was about real-life applications. So everything that I do teach, I first have to plan on doing it so I can really find a real-life application. So the bigger picture of learning area, even though it's a basic concept, a lot of our careers are in this area in Port Arthur are for construction. So a lot of our kids have parents or fathers that may be construction workers, or even interior design for our ladies, well, even men as well, because I like to interior design things myself. So that's basically what my presentation was about, just learning how to apply basic concepts and then go ahead and matriculate them to more rigorous levels. Also with questioning, taking out questioning. That's one thing that I had to work on the first 6 weeks. I did not have very good questioning strategies. But as more and more I go on and I begin to lean on Ms. Walker, Ms. Maliari, and several others, this kind of helps me as well. That's fine.
Okay, while he's giving his presentation, we'll move on to social studies. Mr. Milo.
Good evening. How are y'all doing? I took an assignment from last week. We were covering the early republic, baby America, basically. And we want to move it like that, you know, from basic to proficient all the way to advanced. And so I took a vocabulary assignment, and I said, well, the standard definitions, they won't work. So I needed to tweak it a little bit. So I created a folder. I had to not only write down the 6 words that we were covering: precedent, cabinet, national debt, bond, speculative, and unconstitutional. But I also had them define the word, use the word in a sentence, and draw a picture symbolizing the word. Then on the overhead, I produced some questions that had to answer on the folder also. For instance, precedent. I asked, what is another possible use of precedent today? For cabinet, I said, give an example of President Obama using his cabinet today, right? Speculator. Drawing from what you know about speculator, what type of life do you think they lead? So I wanted to take the basic vocabulary lesson that we would usually do, write down the word and copy it. It wasn't enough. That way, they hit in 4 different areas, and it's sinking into them. Now they can reproduce this and regurgitate it and teach me about it all, right? The TEAC we will focus on is 8.1C. It said, explain the significance of the following date. The date was 1803, and we're talking about the Louisiana Purchase. After I gave them the basic information about what the Louisiana Purchase was, we bought the Louisiana Territory from Napoleon, how much we spent on $15 million. Then I had to do an assignment. I want to take from the basic information, raise it up to proficient, and try to get to advanced. So I asked them 2 questions, and they had to write it outward. What exactly was the Louisiana Purchase, and how did it change America? Now, that could be basic and also proficient. Then I took it another level higher, because they had some other information I gave them. I asked them a question. I said, describe how the slave rebellion, which led to the independence of Haiti and the overthrow of French rule, affected Napoleon's decision to sell the Louisiana territory. He said, well, how is this possible, right? Well, if you know anything about the history of the subject, then you would know that Napoleon was planning on taking over America. He was going to launch his attack from his military base, Haiti. And the only thing that stopped him from taking over America, we would all be speaking French right now, because they're the strongest army in the world. The only thing that stopped him was slave rebellion led by Toussaint Louverture. So if it was not for the slave rebellion, we would be French citizens right now. So that's, I try to take that basic Louisiana Purchase lesson and just elevate it to where now it's a part of them. They can regurgitate and have some important facts they can remember possibly for the rest of their life. Thank you.
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to, these are some of the questions that I asked. So going from a basic level to a more advanced level, and I use some of the Bloom's taxonomy language and vocabulary. For example, this will be basic, just a knowledge level. What is the formula for area? That's length times width. Now to comprehend it, or to translate that into our own understanding, how does perimeter differ from area? A third question, everything is going good, we would say, well, plot and connect the 4 points in the first quadrant, and then identify the area of the rectangle. And the creation of the synthesis, okay, our most advanced level is creation. So the construction, we would say design a model home that has 7 proportional rooms. If the total square footage of the home is 1,700 feet, it's supposed to be 1,700 square feet. How might your design improve with more square footage? So this allows for more conversation and there's more room for design. Some people think, well, if you have a bigger room versus a bigger bathroom, a walk-in closet, just things that people see on TV. I always try to have some time in my classroom for my kids to just talk, and I can just take the lesson from out the book to real life application. That's my presentation.
He's my favorite student.
We have another graduate of Polk School District, our science teacher, Ms. Christy Lewis.
Good evening. I'm going to stay in this area because I have a lot of junk. If you know anything about science teachers, we carry a lot of junk and we have a lot of stuff in our room. So I have a lot. We started on Newton's laws, which is 8.6 and 8.6c. And it's talking about force, motion, and energy. And if anybody knows anything about that, you can't teach force without teaching motion, and you can't teach motion without teaching energy and acceleration. So everything goes together, and the main point of that T is relating all of it. It all has to go together in a relationship.